Hello, Jared here, and I'm back. I'm sorry that these update videos keep getting further and further apart, but as I could speak for many people, a lot's happened since I've finished Volume 1. Between the world setting on fire and killer hornets and obviously the pandemic, there's a lot that's happened. But it's not all been bad news. There are good things that have happened, and that's part of the reason I'm wanting to make this video. And just to cut straight to it, this video is mainly the kickoff video for beginning Volume 2, because I plan on starting this week on it, since the book actually got done online about 2 months ago, I believe. But I actually finished it personally back in December, but that allowed me to take care of a lot of other things along the way. So this video is just going to give you kind of an update, things that have happened in life, things that are going on in the project, and we'll go from there. So as some may have known, I was supposed to have a booth at Anthrocon this year, which obviously got canceled due to the pandemic. Which is a shame, but the good news is it is reserved for next year, assuming that this country can pull itself together by then, and I will be definitely there in 2021, if that happens. But as far as books, I do have prototype books that I've printed. I've showed those to my patrons on Patreon. Support my Patreon. Plug. But I am kind of ashamed to admit that I've really procrastinated on the publisher search. I did actually send out to about 3 bigger publishers. I mean, the publishing game is brutal. I did get 1 rejection letter from 1, and I don't think I heard back from 2 others. But I have like a list that I was gonna do, but once the pandemic hit, it's like everything got turned upside down. And there's a lot of reasons that I just kind of stopped doing the search for the time being while I was taking care of everything else. But the funny thing is, during that, I actually did have a children's book that I did illustrations on, that did launch on Amazon. And that is currently for sale in either Kindle or physical print. And it's called What's Up with Miss Katz. And that link will be in the description below if you guys want to check that out. But I worked with a friend way in the past. We used to work together when I was at Apple, and he said he wanted to make a book, and he wanted me to do the illustrations, and we worked out a deal, and it was a great learning experience. So I got to be technically a published children's book illustrator, so that's cool. I'm published somewhere, but not on my own stuff. But, you got to start small and then work your way up. So when I was talking about taking care of everything else earlier, one of those things was I bought a condo. I'm a homeowner now. I don't live in an apartment. I was kind of over it. I was done renting, and they just kept raising rent. I'm like, I can be in a way better place than this. So I basically don't pay any more per month than I did at my apartment, and I have a way nicer, way bigger place. I have another bedroom and another bathroom, a 2-car garage, and a nice pond and tree view, and it's as affordable, if not more affordable, than my freaking apartment. So for all you out there that are in apartment living, if you have the means to get yourself into a home, I recommend to do it. It's nice to build equity for once in my life. Speaking of, backing up before I even moved, back around January, February, I just want to say that I have a new addition to the family. I rescued a little kitty on a very terrible, cold, sleeting night at my apartment complex in the parking lot. She was meowing underneath a truck. And long story short, I was able to get her back to my apartment, and I saved her. I checked, no one claimed her. She was nobody's cat. And so I got her all her shots, spayed, microchipped, everything. And Luna, the little snowshoe Siamese, has been added to the family. And it's amazing because she is as good of a pet for me as she is for my other cat, Kepler. Like, we all get along. She plays well. She's got a great personality. She's the most adorable freaking thing in the world, and I could not have chosen a better cat from a shelter. And then what's funny is that I held off for the longest time getting another cat, and I said, if I get another cat, it's going to have to be something I rescue randomly off the street. I said that to myself in my own head, and that's exactly what happened. So here I am. So yeah, there she is. She is the most adorable freaking thing ever, and I'm happy to have her. So now that I've rambled on about life for the time being, let's get back to the comic. I'm gonna go ahead and throw up the character sheet that I've been working on since the beginning of the year. I decided I needed to kind of revamp everything, not just because I needed to make some of the characters older, just because I think that my skills had improved and I think they needed a serious update. So I went ahead and did that, and I even added a couple new characters that I have planned and have been written into the script of Volume 2. And speaking of the script is what I would call, let me put it this way, it's 95% done as a final first draft. It's gone through many drafts. I think that there's one more scene that I could add near the end of it, but I easily have enough to draw this book, the next one, for the next 2.5 years comfortably. Like, there's no shortage of material for me to draw. Most of the script is locked in. I'm very happy with it. And it's a lot tighter than Volume 1, in my opinion. I mean, I would hope that Volume 1 was my test bed. It was my learning funhouse of everything, like just storytelling, character development, paneling, pacing, all of that. So I really, really hope that Volume 2 is the real push in kind of conveying the original idea, that original vision that I had 6 years ago when this popped into my head. Not to say that Volume 1 wasn't anything special, but Volume 1 kind of came at the last second when I realized that was a story that I needed to tell first before I could get to the real meat of what was always in my head from day one. But I'm happy that I did it because it's only going to make Volume 2 hit that much harder as far as just the characters and the story and the world. Like, you're going to be more attached to them. You're going to understand them more. So I'm very happy about that. And also, the artwork's going to be a lot better coming right out of the gate. Let's face it. It's going to look way better than what it was originally going to look like 3 years ago. So I'm really pumped about that, and I can't wait to see where I'm at in another 3 years when I'm hopefully finishing up Volume 2 then. And then, I don't know, life's a journey, and here comes the next one. So as said, I am starting Volume 2 this week, and I hope to launch Volume 2 by next summer. And assuming that Anthrocon happens next summer, I actually thought it would be kind of a great time to try to launch Volume 2 right around the convention time if it happens. So that could be a really cool way to do it, but I have to make sure that I can hit that deadline. Because my goal is to finish around 40 to 45, about 40, 45 pages before I launch, because I need to build the buffer in the queue. Now, when I launched Volume 1, I released 19 pages on day one for like a big splash because it was a brand new comic. This one, I'm not going to be putting in as much. I'm planning about 4 pages to be released on day one, but that allows me not to have to prepare as many backlog for the queue. But I do notice that pages are taking me longer to do because I'm putting more work into them than usual. I'm more obsessive about the detail and trying to get everything right. But I still hope I can do it in a year. I've averaged around 40 pages a year, at least all through Volume 1, and I hope to hold that. But we'll see. Now, if you don't want to wait for the comic next summer, then you do have the option of heading on over to Patreon if you wanted to be one of my supporters, and I will be posting updates of the comic throughout the year as that process goes. So you can still get your fix if you need to, and there'll be plenty of content going up there as the year goes on. So just throwing that out there as an option. Well, that's really all I had to say regarding the video. As far as the speed paint that you can see, this was a Patreon commission, and they wanted a little sheet or a character sketch of Abram, and I decided to give him a welder where he's lighting his whiskers on fire, and he's not a very good welder. But yeah, a little bit different streaming setup here because you can see the camera. That's not something I've normally done in the past, but that's more the norm these days. But I digress. Other than that, I thank everyone that's supported me to this point. It means a lot, and it really just feels good, getting that support when you need it, because in these dark days, we all need support, and I hope that everyone is staying safe. I hope you're wearing a mask. I'm sure some people have been affected and hurt by what's been going on in the world. So I wish you guys all the best, and I hope that you can pull through some of the toughest of times, because we're all feeling it and we're all in this together. And I just hope that maybe drawing a little bit of cartoon cats can bring a little bit of joy to people in these dark times. So other than that, there's the obvious comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.